So we're going to go ahead and get started. And so today's webinar it's 3 ways to use an online private community to increase revenue for your associations. And one of the key factors of any association, as you're probably well aware, is for most associations it revolves around membership. Membership typically is a big driver in revenue creation, revenue growth, and really, again, everything, it revolves around members. So today's webinar, I want to cover three different ways, three different strategies, and ways that you can position a private online community to help increase revenue for your association. So first, I want to go over the actual 3 ways that we're going to talk about, and then I want to show you an example of how this can be positioned. I'm actually going to show you an example of a social hub site, and so you can see exactly how you can start to apply some of these ways and these strategies to help increase revenue for your association. So let's go over the first one here. First one that I want to talk about is membership marketing. And when you look at a private online community, one of the key benefits to members is really the exclusive member engagement, the exclusive opportunity to be able to participate and to engage inside of an environment that not everybody else on the outside can do or can even see. Again, being something like a private online community, you have the ability to cut away from the distractions and noise that typically comes with larger, what I call external social networks. Again, networks such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Google Plus, Twitter, they're great for engaging. They're great for sharing information, but it's really hard to create a focused engagement with members. And focused engagement is really where the value is created. Where members, and what I mean by focused engagement is when members can actually understand why they're participating in your private online community. No matter whatever the content is, whether you're sharing photos, whether you're sharing documents, videos, I mean, that's sort of irrelevant to some degree, because your members want to just know that if they are going to log in, participate at any level, that they want to see that one, is relevant to them, and something that they're doing, but also that it is a exclusive member benefit or member engagement. If it's something that everybody else can do, then you start getting the questions. Really, why am I paying my membership? What's the value? What value are we getting out of this membership? So when it comes to revenue generation or increasing revenue for your association, you want to look at ways to position this into your membership marketing. This could be your membership packet, could be just selling memberships. As you sell memberships, including the fact that they have exclusive access to your private online community where they can engage with other members, start to engage directly with the association, actually have a voice in the association. I think that's one of the key things when we started as we work with other associations and in using Social Hub Site. One of the key bits of feedback we've gotten from members of those social hub sites has been, it's about time. It's about time that we were able to, to share our voice, to be able to, throw out questions, to be able to be heard, essentially. Because again, a lot of what's going on the external networks is, a lot of content being shared, but not a lot of engagement, not a lot of commenting, not a lot of activity really going on there. And partly it's just because, again, when you are in a network that's, that has a lot of noise, you have a lot of, even just buttons on the page, it's hard to create really a value, or hard to associate that with value. So, when you have that environment set up, you have that private online community in place, really to increase that revenue, you really have to make it a part of your sales, sales packet, marketing, the marketing packets that you have, and start to incorporate that. So it's, again, you got to look at it as a member benefit. And so when I show you here, dive into Social Hub Site a little bit so you can kind of see some examples of how they might value that. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. So let's move on here to the next point, which is sponsorships. Now, with associations, as you naturally have a community in place, right? You have members. A lot of times, the members are within a specific trade associations, or maybe they have a specific goal in mind. So they're not maybe in the same business or same industry, but maybe they're all trying to network and so forth. So the mindset set is very, very similar. And that's really where sponsorships come in. Anytime you have engagement, you have content being shared, and a lot of activity going on, it creates a real great value for associate and affiliate members to get in front of your members. So with that said, it creates an opportunity for you to not only underwrite the cost of the private online community to keep it going, but also actually start to increase revenue. I know a lot of associations we worked with that actually, that have not only underwritten their social hub site, but also have created relationships with that. It's with your associate and affiliate members, they're joining for the most part to actually network with, say, your members. So in this case, it does create that opportunity, which of course does create additional revenue. So, and I'll show you an example of this here after we go over our last point. So, last point I want to cover here is when it comes to increasing revenue for your association is to, again, I put in here, lower member attrition. One of the biggest challenges that when we work with a lot of associations, one of the biggest challenges they run across is, membership is growing by X%, but then, we have a certain amount of members that drop off every single year. And in the number one bit of feedback that we've received and also researched on the web, so it's a common bit of feedback, is that, is the reason why they leave is because they are simply not engaged. They don't go to the conferences. They're not showing up for webinars. They're not reading your emails and so forth. And that, part of that is are they, you might ask the question, really, are they a right fit for our association? But the other aspect is really, have you, the association, created the value or created the environment to empower them as a member to engage? And part of that environment, if it doesn't include a focused engagement, if you're trying to do this on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google Plus and everything, and they just don't participate in that, they don't have time for that, or they don't see value in having time into that, going to all 3 different places or however many places that you have, they're simply just not going to participate. And that's one of the biggest challenges that most associations face, is that, why should I go ahead, as a member, why should I, participate into this particular network? What's in it for me, right? So by having that private online community, by really engaging not just the entire membership, but also maybe specific groups of people, utilizing grouping features that you're able to turn on inside of a private online community. Again, now you start to create content that's relevant, sharing content that is extremely relevant, and members start to see value in that. And obviously, that can be a real big determinant on whether or not they continue to pay their membership dues. So again, we can't look at increasing without looking at ways to lower the attrition, because otherwise you're just going to keep spinning your wheels, and revenue numbers are going to basically stay the same, because again you're losing that bottom end. So with that said, when it comes to member engagement, which is really everything that these 3 points go over, we have to make sure that we do this. We have to do this correctly. So I want to show you this. I want to show you an example, a demo that we have with Social Hub site, just kind of give you a general idea of some of the points that we talked about in the slides here. So go ahead and exit out of this, and let's go ahead and jump into the demo. Now, as you see here, this is, of course, it's the demo of a Social Hub site. Of course, we have a bunch of fake users in here, so just to give you a kind of a basic example. But one of the when we talk about engagement, one of the first points that we made was about including it into your marketing. So but part of that is actually getting people being active, starting to use the association, starting to utilize a private online community, something like Social Hub site, to, share information, share that membership packet, share information that is relevant to your association, maybe groups inside of your association, sharing events that are going on, so forth. But again, the point I want to make here is not necessarily just trying to show off Social Hub Site, but is to actually look at the interface itself. So actually look at taking maybe screenshots of your private online community, including that into your marketing material. And again, because it is a member benefit, it is truly a member benefit. If this was public and everybody could join it and everybody could to see what's going on, I mean, there'd be really, you get the question, well, why do I have to join your association in order to gain access to this, right? So this, again, by looking at some of the different areas of a private online community, such as a Social Hub Site, again, you can start to demonstrate clearly to potential members, here's exactly how, here's some value, here's what we're sharing, here's what's going on. And ultimately, what it does is the private online communities, it gives members or potential members that are considering membership, gives them a vibe to what's going on. It gives them the vibe to show that you are relevant, that you are taking a true effort in trying to not only connect them with others inside of your association, but also to share content that's relevant to them, and giving them a good vehicle to gain that information. So again, point is not necessarily the features of what I'm going over, but again, the point is you want to be able to take screenshots. If you're on a PC, typically I think it's Control P or Control Print Screen. I think that will actually take it on a PC. If you're on a Mac, I think it's just Command. Actually, it's Command 3. I think it is. If you're on a Mac, Command 3 or Command 4, based upon the area that you want to take the screenshot. So either way, that's one point I do want to make. So it's, again, definitely don't just have your private online community up, but make sure that you're utilizing that, the images out of that, so people can visualize. Not a lot of your members or potential members are going to understand what a private online community is. They might think it's just a forum, or they might look at it like, hey, is this just like Facebook? Is this just another login? Again, by taking those screenshots, you're able to overcome that. The other point I made was sponsorship. As I mentioned before, obviously you can see here, I just put in a sample sponsor. Inside of Social Hub Site, there's an administrative capability to very simply add a sponsor. So you can go in, upload a sponsor logo, put a website link out there. So it creates an opportunity for an affiliate member or set of affiliate or associate members to underwrite, and of course underwrite the system, but also to actually start to increase revenue, start to profit a little bit. So again, sponsorship is basic and straightforward, as you can see here. Social Hub Site does allow you to put logos and or banners on the right-hand side of every single page as well. So it gives you the option to for those members to get in front of your members. And then the last point that we talked about, which I just want to show you now, is we talk about lowering attrition. We talk about membership engagement, and making sure members see value in that. And one of the key problems I found in working with associations before Social Hub Site was a lot of information was disconnected. You'd have the online community in place, but so you'd be sharing out that great document, or you'd be sharing out a discussion, but none of that information is actually getting directly to the members. So it might be coming to them in the form of like a digest or something, but a lot of times really important discussions can get lost rather quickly. So by having control, keyword control here, of your private online community, where you can change the frequency in which they receive information, such as blog posts or events or pictures from the latest golf outing, it creates that quality of immediacy. So they're not reading that long newsletter that has a single thing going on. But for the most part, typically done research on this. I mean, you're looking at the highest level, around 20 to 30% of the people that might even open up your email. Especially from an association standpoint, you might have a little bit higher than most businesses, But what it comes down to is not just getting people to open it, but to actually engage and take the next step. So, this again, we want to get away. I always say, one of the ways to get members engaged, to lower attrition, to get them to see that there are things going on, this is worth your membership, is by making sure they're aware of it when it happens. So if you have sharing something out inside of a group or maybe a segment inside of your association, make sure we want to make sure that people are getting that information when they need it. Whether it's instantaneously, daily, or weekly. Not in that newsletter and they come back to you and say, well, I didn't it knew because I didn't even know you had a particular conference, or I didn't know you had this or that going on. By creating that, by looking at sharing on an instantaneous basis versus always compiling everything into email newsletters, you're going to find members becoming much more engaged. Again, you have much more opportunity as well. You don't have to wait once a week or once a month when you're sending out that newsletter to hope that people actually click through and take some sort of action. And the other thing I'll say before concluding here is that when you can get members to start engaging with each other inside of a system like this, the system becomes invaluable. One, because most people aren't going to go through and try to find every single person's email address. So just like the value of a CRM system or something, you go in there, you see a full list of, say, clients or members. By being able to go in there and see, the members that are part of your association, to be able to connect rather quickly is a huge value, and it's a reason for them to come back. So regardless of whether or not they participate in events or anything else, if they can just start connecting with other members on here, it creates a huge value and a reason for continuing. So again, goal is to lower attrition. So as we add members, we're not continually losing that same percentage of members. So with that said, again, I try to give you a little bit of an idea, again, from concept to actual, visuals here, so you can see, hey, here's a private online community, but here's how you can start to position it. The key thing is to just get started. I work with a lot of associations personally before even starting Social Hub site. And, majority that I've worked with that have seen success as far as membership engagement have been the ones that just have taken this step forward. A lot of the objections we've received have been, hey, are members going to engage? Do they need another login? Are they actually going to engage? They're worried more about what's going to happen when we first launch this. Whereas when you look at a private online community, not it's just like anything else, just like any live community, the one that you live in, it's not going to build itself overnight. So by starting with small things, utilizing maybe your Social Hub site or a private online community for committees in your association, start there. So if you do want to import all your members, then start by sharing out relevant content. What's going on? Share links, share videos, share photos, share documents. These are some great tools that start to give you the ability to publish, give you the ability to get in front of your members more often. And, before you know it, your members are going to start to engage. They're going to start to maybe comment. They start seeing that, hey, you know what, you're sharing good, valuable links. You're sharing good photos. They're getting the notification. They understand why they're coming back to the community. So don't always look at it like, you launch it and then what? You launch it and just think about, what value as you, the association, can share with your members. And that when you look at it like that, you start to looking at, okay, let's get our members in here, or let's even just get our committees in here, but let's start to share what we have going on. And then from there, obviously, then you can start to get into, discussions and sharing different, start adjusting the way, what kind of content that you're sharing out there. So again, key is just to get started. I can't emphasize that enough. You don't want to be looking at this 2 years later and saying, I wish we would have done something like that. The key is to start now. Don't worry about being perfect. Your community is not going to be perfect after a month. It's not going to grow magically, in a month. It might not be 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It is definitely going to take time, but it is something that is definitely worth building. Membership engagement, members are, everything for your association. So before looking at increasing revenue, we want to look at, what systems can we put into place? What platforms can we put into place to empower members to help us as the association to increase revenue. So with that said, I'm going to stop recording here, but I want to go ahead and answer any questions that you have. So if you